Hey, what's shaking, everybody? Jamie MacDonald back again. New video time. Not going to be doing a tip or a tutorial or anything like that. This is going to be something that will probably appeal to a lot of people. And I know you could probably tell from the smile on my face what this video is going to be, but I will introduce it anyways. So this is the video for the brand new Olympus OMD E-M5 Mark II. And yes, I know unboxing videos are so 2013, 14, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to unbox this sucker. I'm going to go through the whole opening of the package and all of that. And then we'll start talking a little bit more about specs and things like that. And, you know, crazy as it sounds, I really don't have a lot of information on the specs right now. So if I don't go into a ton of detail on specs in this video, don't worry. It'll be coming before too long. I'll have a follow-up video for that. And the reason I don't have specs for this is because literally the FedEx guy just dropped this off. I mean, when I say literally, he's probably less than a quarter of a mile from my house now. I mean, he dropped it off. I ran upstairs, set up a light, set up the camera, and I'm out of breath because I'm so excited because I want to do this video. So don't have all the details on it yet. You're watching this because it is the NDA is expired and I can talk about it. So I guess I'll just do a little bit. I'll just talk about the box right now, just a little bit, just because, well, I'm seeing some things on here that kind of stand out to me. And I'm noticing that on the side of the box, there's this little symbol here. It says HLD8 and HLD8G. So it looks like this camera might have some different grip options going on there. And this is actually the camera and lens combo kit. This appears that it comes with the 12 to 50. So let's crack this baby open and see what we got. Stay tuned. All right, you guys, so let's get this underway. Again, the OMD E-M5 Mark II, as indicated on the box here. Not the greatest at this whole unboxing video thing, so bear with me. That's what I was talking about earlier on the box. Of course, I'm showing it to you upside down. It says HLD8, HLD8G. So that's new to me. Let's crack this bad boy open. I'm sitting behind the camera, which is on a tripod, sitting between my legs, in front of my desk. Again, I'm not like the king of unboxing videos like some other people out there. So let me get the box out of the way. Oh, and I do have my E-M5 Mark I out and ready, just so we can do some side-by-side stuff. I'm going to be doing some side-by-side comparison photos as well, so we can get, you know, some really good high-resolution, high-detail comparisons. Again, this is just kind of the unboxing video. The presentation is the same as what you would see on the other OMDs. Beautiful package. This is where you would find your CD and things like that for Olympus viewer. Here's the camera. And this camera has been opened before. There are only literally a few of them out there, and this is one of them. So this has been shipped directly from Olympus to me. I think this was probably shown to a few people already, like at CES maybe. And this is the silver one. So, first impressions. I freaking love these control dials. They're boss. I'm hoping that the camera's picking this up. There are like these beautiful machined chamfered edges that are nice and shiny. Okay, so this is just, I'm going fanboy. They're knurled edges, so the grip on them feels phenomenal. No wobble or play. Definitely a more robust locking. Or more, when I say more robust, I mean the clicks feel really, really defined. You can actually lock your control wheel, which is kind of cool, like from the EM1. I know a lot of people are going to want to know function buttons. We've got a function 4, which is labeled as HDR, function 3, which is your viewfinder on and off also. Function 2, record. Function 1 would be like the auto exposure lock from like on the EM1. Your diopter controls right here to the left of the viewfinder. Toggle switch 1 and 2. That's really firm. The buttons, okay, so I know people complain on the E-M5 the buttons felt mushy. And I kind of know what they're talking about with that, but this is not the case. These are like definable indents, like you can feel like the little poppy click when you push in on them. Ergonomics, let me do that. You know, I'm not Mr. Gigantor hands here, so E-M5 is perfect for me. And let me just say that this little thumb rest right here is way more pronounced on the E-M5 Mark II than it is on the E-M5 Mark I. It's not as wide, but it is more swept out and more pronounced. My thumb falls right into it, as it does on the front grip as well. It's funny, this part of my middle finger, the first knuckle back, sits right into this little curve right here. Yeah, okay, home run here, Olympus, home run. A lot of the people have been pointing out the LCD screen on it. And it swivels, baby. Oh, it says sample. So, yeah, ridiculous, okay. I'm totally engaged in fanboy mode. Oh, and you're gonna like that you can continue to use your existing supply of batteries. So, let me stick one in. Let me put a lens on here. I am just like in total geek out mode here. Let me grab a lens really quick. I will grab like the 25mm and we'll throw that on there. Oh, I better grab a memory card too. I just happen to have one sitting in front of my computer. What do you know? Yes, the sounds you hear are me loading the card and stuff in and mounting the lens. You don't really want to see that, do you? If you do, card door, nothing out of the ordinary. Something I did notice, which is kind of cool, I'm a stickler for noticing like these weird little things. The lug for your strap. Look at that on the E-M5 Mark II versus the E-M5, if I don't drop it here, Mark I. Mark I just sticks straight out to the side. This sits more to the front. This is going to allow it to just kind of rest a little more comfortably on your chest. Hard to explain. I know what I'm talking about. I just can't put it into words very well. Let me turn the camera on. So she's turned on. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Let me get my center focus point back. That was nice and fast. Can't see what the heck I'm focusing on, but so, whoa. Okay, did you hear that? I'm gonna bring the camera back behind the camera that's doing the video so I can put it close to my mic so you can hear the shutter on this. So let me get focus. That is the quietest Olympus shutter I've ever heard. Street shooters, take note. Listen again. Versus, let me turn on the E-M5. I know this video is goofy, bouncing all over the place as far as stuff being in front of the camera for you to see. Me doing stuff off camera. And again, I apologize. I'm just super excited here. So let me put a camera in my E-M5 Mark I, or a battery in my E-M5 Mark I. Turn it on. Turn it on. Okay. E-M5 Mark I. You hear that? Mark II. Mark I. Mark II. Super quiet. No other way to put it. Just super quiet. So, I don't know. Let me get the box out of the way. There's nothing in the box that's going to be too terribly exciting for anybody. There's not like there's anything new that comes in the box, I'm pretty sure. Battery, charger, all that good stuff. You guys are more interested in the camera itself. So let me reposition myself so that I can get it out here in front for you to see. So, All right, so yeah, let's get looking here. Man, I really don't know what else to say. The button layout obviously is completely new. Everybody's seen the leaked out photos, so you kind of already know what button positions are and things like that. Let me just talk about, again, what it feels like in the hand. I can't express enough the way the grip feels. And again, I know I'm a stickler for these weird little details, but this thumb rest, it just kind of does it for me. It's way more comfortable, and I feel more secure just letting it just kind of sit in my hand this way than I would have on the E-M5. The E-M5, the front grip isn't as pronounced, so getting my fingers up inside of here to grip on, it just doesn't really, not quite as comfortable. A little less secure. I know with the E-M5, that's kind of what I would do, is do the wrist wrap thing and hold it. E-M5 Mark II, I don't think I would feel the need to do that. Your fingers just fall right down into there because it's way more pronounced. I can't get over how quiet that shutter is. Okay, so something else I noticed on the camera when I got into the menu system, and this is going to be hard to do so close to the camera, is that when you go into the menu and you go into image aspect, the layout is just a little bit different. So you see where it says raw, and then you've got your JPEG settings. You've got large, middle, small, and super large. Super large is 7,296 by 5472, which is larger than your raw file. Your raw file is 4608 by 3456. So what do you think of that? Okay, so something else I found while tooling around with the camera. Again, at this point I don't have any kind of documentation for it because it is a sample version of the camera. But you've got to see the street shooters. So when you go through your different shooting modes, you've got, single frame, you've got anti-shock, and then you've got silent. So do you want to hear how quiet silent is? Let's just take a photo. I'm bringing the camera back here next to me. You're going to hear it get focus lock, and then I'm going to take the picture. Ready? Did you hear it? Probably not. Let me get it right so it's almost touching the microphone. Here we go. So I'm just taking two photos, and I'm sure you probably didn't hear it. Again, street shooters rejoice. This thing is wicked. I mean, just right out of the gate, without enabling the silent mode, the camera is super quiet. The shutter is so soft. And then when you enable the silent mode, I'm a little close here. Here we go. Absolutely quiet. Like, it doesn't even make a sound. It's kind of ridiculous. It can be so quiet. It's so cool. Hey everybody, I'm back. Just took a walk, probably a mile or two, with the new OMD E-M5 Mark II. I pretty much kept the 40 to 150 f2.8 glued to it. Just because where I was walking, I didn't know if I'd run into any wildlife or not, and I just wanted to be prepared for that. Some first impressions. Okay, again, matter of disclaimer, I've had a few people tell me that I should mention this. I am part of the Olympus Trailblazer program, so I kind of work, I don't want to say for Olympus, but it's like a sponsorship deal. So keep that in mind, but I always try to just speak the truth, and if I run into something that I don't like, I'll be the first one to tell you, So first impressions, I didn't even put the strap on it. I just wanted to get the heck outside and just go shoot with it. And it's so cool. Okay, it's been a while since I've felt like this with a camera, and that sounds so weird, but it fits good. The button placement for, I don't have the big giant hands, so if you're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or something, I don't want to hear how your fingers feel cramped because it's a small camera. For me, it works great. The way the dials are, the fact that they're knurled, I'm going to assume they're metal. They look like metal. They feel like metal. My day job, I work in quality control in an automotive supplier. I have a pretty good working knowledge of what machined metal is like, and I'm pretty certain this is machined metal. If it's not, then they did a hell of a job tricking me. So anyways, the knurled control wheels, control dials, awesome. You know, it's not like I had trouble working the dials on the E-M1 or the E-M5 or any of the other cameras, but the knurling on this is such that it just, maybe it's like a confidence thing. Let me just say that, you know, you have like this confidence and assurance, you know, when you're holding it, that you're getting good motion, good travel with the dial. Responsiveness, ridiculous. I don't know. Again, I don't have the specs. I don't know if it focuses faster. Maybe it's just me. It's placebo because it's like a sexy, awesome new camera. I don't know. Whatever it is. Man, this thing is fast. Okay, my kids are crazy playing out in the snow, and I had no problem chasing them around with this camera and just nailing focus and just blasting photo after photo with them. So focus with the 40 to 150, whew, boss. Love it. Can't wait to get one with a grip on it, just so everything balances out a little bit better when I've got like a big lens like this on it. But for the time being, you know, like, I love it. And earlier, I don't know if it makes it into the final video or not, but earlier I spoke about the silent shutter. Dude, it is so freaking cool. Just so you know, I really got the camera on. I will focus on something back here. You see I got focus? Ready, listen. Yeah, I didn't hear it either. It's so cool. And it's not one of those things that I personally would have ever thought, you know, man, I want a silent shutter. That would be so awesome. I'm not a street shooter. It's just not my thing. I don't care. I think this would be just cool, you know, kids' concert, weddings. Holy cow. If you're a wedding photographer, this is a feature you want. It's, you know, well, I'll do it again. Ready? So let me get focus on my cows. Ready? I didn't hear it either. It's that cool. So silent shutter, great. I played around a little bit with the super high res photo feature. I haven't looked at the photos yet. Like I said, I literally just got right back inside and wanted to sit down in front of the camera again and just talk about how it was to walk around with the camera. Awesome. For those who are going to be wondering, microphone jack, external microphone jack, because accessory port is no longer on the camera, so you're not going to need what I've got mounted up to this camera that I'm recording video with. You don't need the external mic hookup with that. So there you go, bam, external mic port, cool. PC port for external flash, working in the studio, it's right there. Man, what else? What else are people asking about? Live composite, of course. It's got those cool vintage art filters that I dig. Yeah, I'm an art filter guy. I love it. I'll say it out loud, whatever. They're cool. So it's got that in there. I'm going to have to fire up one of my other cameras and see, because I don't remember if it's a feature on the other cameras right now or not. But the vintage art filter, I noticed when you go through your different settings, you know how you could do the fake tilt shift or whatever, you can blur the top and the bottom or the left and the right. Now you can shade it, and I don't remember that in the other cameras, so maybe I just never scrolled down far enough, but that's kind of cool. So you can almost do like a, I don't want to say a graduated ND filter, but it's like two of them, I guess, because you're filtered at the top, filtered at the bottom, and not filtered in the middle. It's kind of like a tilt shift vignette. I don't know how else to describe it. It's kind of cool. I got some sample shots with that too. Again, everything will end up on my website at jmacdonaldphoto.com. All the sample photos. So, and they'll be on Flickr. You know, when you go to my website, there will be links to all my social outlets. You know, and just find me on Flickr there. That's where you'll have access to like the big high res photos and everything. I'm digging this, man. It's got me pumped again. You know, it's not like I wasn't pumped before about the products that we have available to us from Olympus right now, but man, this is like, it's kind of cool. You know, it's like it's a renaissance for me, I guess. I'm gonna go back out and shoot some more. So again, kind of scatterbrained. I'm like super amped up and hyper right now because this is just the bomb. And again, I don't know what I was gonna make it in the video or whatnot. You know, I was kind of bouncing around when I was unboxing and showing it to you that way. So I apologize if the final video here looks a little crazy. It's just I'm so amped up because again, Olympus does it. You know, they make another product that just makes me just want to go out and start shooting. So it's getting a little dark, and I don't care. I'm gonna run out of the house and play in the snow and shoot some more photos. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Give me the thumbs up if you like this. If you think I'm too hyper, tell me, settle down, you're too hyper, but still give me a thumbs up anyways. Subscribe, share the video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? Jamie MacDonald back, kind of continuing my little series here on the OMD E-M5 Mark II. I'm 3 days into having this camera in my possession, and I just kind of wanted to let you know where I'm at, like mentally with this camera, you know, what I think of it. And so the other day I went to Ann Arbor here in Michigan to a concert. It was a band concert, and it was really cool. They played a lot of classical compositions. It was an interesting venue. It was an old theater that was built, I believe, in the 20s. Beautiful inside. I sat in the balcony with my wife and some friends and enjoyed the show, and took advantage of the fact that this has a silent shutter, so when we had quieter moments during the performance, I was still able to shoot. I shot, this is the setup I used actually right here, the 75mm 1.8. I recorded some video with it. I'll try and make sure that I get some of the video from that performance spliced into the video that you're watching right now. I shot that, I think I don't remember what I was at. I don't know if I was at 60p or if I was at 24. I think I was at 60 if I recall. Sorry, I didn't do, I know everybody wants to see what the 24p video looks like, and maybe I can squeeze some of that in here too without making this video like an hour long. But something the reason I even bring up video is something I wanted to point out when I was shooting. You know, again, it's an orchestral setting, you know, and with the 75mm, I didn't have as wide of a field of view, so I kind of had to do a little bit of panning to get all of the band members into the little video clip. And you'll see it in the video when I add it. The panning, the image stabilization was crazy smooth. It had this like cinematic sweeping, like as if I was on a dolly feel to it. And maybe it's just my imagination, but I swear I don't think I've ever gotten a shot that looked quite as smooth as that on any of the other cameras that I own yet. So I don't know if there were improvements to the image stabilization in that regards. Again, you know, I'm doing all this. I don't have a spec sheet yet or anything like that. So I'm just going off of impressions. I think that there's a difference. There's got to be something in there. I know with the sensor shift technology that's in there to allow for the super high-res photos, maybe there's something in there also that makes performance better for the image stabilization for video and stills. It's freaking cool. So you'll see it in the video, because I'm going to make sure that at least that one gets into this video. Something else that I noticed, and I don't know if I mentioned it in the earlier video, my first impressions video, I noticed that when you go into the silent shutter mode, you can actually crank it up to 11 frames per second. When you're not in silent mode, it's at 10 frames per second. Don't ask me why it's that way. I don't know. But 11 frames per second silent is crazy. It's super cool. I think that if you get your hands on one to try it, I think you'll be impressed. I used it for street shooting in Ann Arbor when I was there. Again, I'm not a street shooter by nature, but not feeling like you had the clacking of a shutter going on, kind of, for me anyways, because I'm not a street shooter, kind of just added a little bit of confidence to what I was doing. I didn't have any problems. There were a couple of street performers. I had no problems just kind of standing in the group that were, you know, watching the performer and taking photos, and I didn't feel like I was distracting anybody with, you know, the shutter noise. So again, I have to mention the quiet shutter on this thing is super cool. And I guess, you know, that in all honesty, that's probably about it for right now. You know, I'm 3 days in. Image quality is just ridiculously awesome. And that's another thing too. Maybe I'll try and get a link somewhere in here in this video, and I'll post the pictures on Flickr of it. And bear in mind, you know, the pictures that I'm going to share initially are just JPEGs. There's no RAW conversion for this yet. So everything I'm going to share is going to be straight out of the camera, RAW or JPEGs. But I shot a photo of my breakfast the other day. It's just one of those things that I've been doing lately. And I had the camera on auto ISO because I think it was from when I was outside shooting with my kids or when I was out taking a walk in the evening. And just wasn't paying attention. You know, I got the camera on the tripod, set up my lights, shot a photo, and on the back of the screen, I noticed it was on auto ISO. I thought, crap, let me put it down to 200. I want, you know, the cleanest file I can get. And then I shot another picture. And I came up here and I was reviewing them in Lightroom, and I swear, no difference that I could see. And I looked in the darker areas, I looked in some mid gradient areas, and I looked in the highlight areas. Between ISO 800 and 200, good luck telling a difference there. Phenomenal. I don't know if there's something different going on in the processing there, or why it would be so much cleaner, but ISO 800 to 200, like from those two, I really didn't see a whole lot of difference. So I was pretty stoked with that. And I guess something else, you know, that I've noticed, and this probably doesn't really matter to 99.9% of the people out there, but tell me that the design cues aren't very similar as far as where the pentaprism is on this to the viewfinder hump on this. I don't know, it just reminds me a lot of getting back towards the old OM1s. Yeah, the knurling on the ISO wheel here, or ASA wheel. I don't know, pretty rad. So far, 3 days in, I'm loving this thing. It's gonna kill me to send it back, but I was glad to get the opportunity to look at it and just give you my first impressions. On my website, jmacdonaldphoto.com, there's going to be a blog post there. There'll be some stuff that's over on mirrorlessminutes.com about this. So if you're seeing this video, you know that it's because NDA lifted and I'm able to talk about it. And at the same time that this video goes up, I'm going to make sure that my posts over on my website and on my blog, jmacdonaldphoto.com, and over on Mirrorless Minutes website, all that stuff will hit like all about at the same time. So thanks for tuning in. Again, questions about this that are purely from a opinion perspective, you know, user impressions and feel, go ahead and shoot those my way. If you have a ton of technical questions, I really don't have answers for those quite yet, probably. So stay tuned, and thanks again for watching. Bye.